again. It's a rich thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to historic Larks Park and the 75th anniversary season of Hayes Larks Baseball. Tonight's Rocky Mountain Baseball League contest is the wrap-up game of this three-game series featuring the Denver Cougars and your Hayes Larks. The Larks enter tonight's game at 8-1 on the season, 5-1 in the league, while the Cougars are 3-10 entering tonight's game. Free admission to tonight's game has been made possible through the generous sponsorship of the Cancer Council of Ellis County, Quest Diagnostics, and the Optimist Club of Hayes. We greatly appreciate these fine people and their support of Hayes Larks Baseball. And now let's meet tonight's starters for your Hayes Larks. Leading off from the University of Sioux Falls, the second baseman, number 2, Grant Long. Third, the designated hitter from the University of Texas at Arlington, number 16, Wyatt Divis. Leading up for the Larks from Fort Hays State University, the right fielder, number 21, Grant Schmidt. Batting fifth, the center fielder from East Tennessee State, number 8, Leo Jimian. Oklahoma, number 28, the first baseman, Cade Brown. Batting seventh, playing shortstop from the University of Nebraska, number 9, Coy Jackson. For the Larks, the catcher from Butler Community College, number 25, Brock Loomis. Ninth, tonight's 8th Street Liquor Beverage batter, the left fielder from the University of Texas at Arlington, number 12, Zach Henry. And tonight, making the pitching start for the Larks from Western Carolina University, number 20, Corey Bright. And in his 40th season with the Larks, please welcome the head coach, Mr. Frank Leo. Larks pitching coach is Keith Hyper. Assistant coach is Max McGuire. First pitch, we welcome two individuals to the plate, Cody Baker and Keith Harper to the pitcher's mound. This year marks 10 years since Cody Baker had his transplant and is cancer-free. Cody says at first he wants to thank God for letting him get through this journey. He would have never made it without his love and grace. And secondly, he wants to thank the community for the support and generosity that you've given Chinook and Cody. It's because of you that he's able to live an adventurous life. Ladies and gentlemen, Cody Baker. Good job, Cody. And now welcome cancer survivor and Larks pitching coach, Keith Harper. Thank you, gentlemen, and thanks to tonight's game sponsor, Cancer Council of Ellis County, Quest Diagnostics, and the Optimist Club of Hayes.
Meet me down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 11 of the 2021 Hayes Larks season, their 75th anniversary season. This is game 3 of a 3-game matchup between your Hayes Larks and the Denver Cougars. Hayes comes in this one 9-1 on the year. Cougars come in 3-10. On the mound for Hayes is Corey Bryant, a 6'1 freshman from the Western Carolina Catamounts out of the Southern Conference in the NCAA Division I. Appearance number 2 on the year for Bryant on the mound. His first one at Larks Park. He's a righty. The first batter he faces, Yuki Yoshimura, and he has a quick 1-2 count on tonight's starting second baseman for Denver. Cougars batting lineup, Yoshimura leads it off, followed by Schmey, Duhan, Iwata, Koenig, Ortega, and then 7, 8, 9 is Brazel, Trumpold, and Esquivel. Bright goes from the windup. Changeup gets Yoshimura to go down swinging. A nice off speed from Bright. Picks up strikeout number 4 in the season through 6 1/3. Came in relief on Monday, 6 days ago, and the Larks' thrilling 18-16 win in 12 innings. Came in through 6 innings, struck out 3, walked 2, allowed 4 hits, 4 runs scored while he was on the mound, but just 2 of those earned. Has an ERA of 3 flat and has an 0-1 count on Gavin Schmay here. Bright out of Barberville, Kentucky. Spent 2 years at Western Carolina. Has 3 years of eligibility left. The 0-1 from Bright. Fastball outside, 1-1. Larks on a 5-game winning streak entering this one. They're 5-1 in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League, standing in first place and a half game up of Fort Collins. 1-1, catches the outside part of the plate, 1-2. Schmay did not play in yesterday's ballgame, getting his first start of this series. The 1-2 home. Slider, nice pitch, but misses low, 2-2. Schmay on the season, now playing in his second game, made 1 at-bat in his last game, and got an RBI and later scored a run when he reached on a fielder's choice. 3-2 count on the shortstop, batting second. Cougars had an identical lineup on Friday and Saturday and decide to mix things up here, down 2 games in this series. Larks have already won the series. They did that yesterday, and a big victory. Payoff pitch outside. It's walk number 3 on the season for Bright. That is Schmay's second walk of the season. I'll bring up Braden Duhan. He led off yesterday and went 0 for 5 with a strikeout. That was a combined effort for the Larks of Fitzgibbons, Velasquez, Terbeek, and Brown on the mound. A 9-3 win for the Larks. First delivery off speed outside, 1-0. Cougars on a 2-game losing streak. They're 1-5 in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. They're in last place, 4 games back, and they've lost 5 of their last 6 games. Bright gets set, and will go from the stretch. The 1-0 home, again outside, 2-0. His release, not quite what he wanted it to be here, and has missed outside quite a few times early. 2-0 with Schmay at first. The throw to Duhan outside again, 3-0. Brian didn't struggle with his location like this on last Monday, but again, it's very, very early in this ball game. Just the 3rd batter of the day. This one, he follows through and sends it home, taking all the way is Duhan, 3-1 count. Bright this year for the Catamounts made 10 appearances through 13 1/3, 7 relief appearances, 3 starts, had 16 earned runs, struck out 11 and walked 13. This one's grounded to Lung, throws to Jackson, who slides the bag, gets that runner at second out, but Duhan will be safe at first. The second time Duhan's reached on a fielder's choice and 3 plate appearances. So Schmay will be back to the dugout. There's 2 away. Larks lineup defensively, it's Henry in left field, Leo Geminian in center, Grant Schmidt in right field. Cam Harrison playing in the hot corner, Cord Jackson at shortstop, Grant Lung at second, Cade Brown at first, and Brock Loomis behind the dish. First delivery here to the cleanup hitter, Kane Iwata, the DH, called strike. Iwata yesterday batted 5th, went 1 for 3 with 1 RBI and struck out 2 times. Jake Fitzgibbons got the start yesterday, went 3 innings, striking out 8 of the 9 outs he recorded, had 2 earned runs, and Velasquez came in, allowed his first hit of the season, went 3 innings, striking out 4, and Terbeek came in after that, through the 7th and the 8th, striking out 4, no hits, no walks. Then Brown came in for the 9th, allowed 1 earned run, 2 hits, struck out 1, and sealed the deal, a 9-3 win for the Larks. The 0-2 home, grounded right at Grant Lung, snow cones the ball, and throws to Cade Brown at first. After walking Schmay with 1 out, Bright works on the situation and sends us to the bottom of the first from Larks Network, no score. Leading off the bottom of the first for Hayes is Grant Lung, been the leadoff hitter for every game he's played this season. First delivery home from Jeremiah Scott, the pitcher for the Cougars, off speed outside. Lung yesterday led off, went 0 for 3 but walked twice. Again, off speed high. Jeremiah Scott, a 6'4" freshman out of Littleton, Colorado, plays for the Colorado Christian University Cougars. And plays for the Denver Cougars, and we got Grant Lung at the plate, who plays for the University of Sioux Falls Cougars. Lung tips this one to the glove of Trembled and has a 2-1 count. Scott for the Cougars this year made just 1 appearance through a third of an inning, allowed 3 hits and had 6 earned runs, walked 3. Had 1 wild pitch through 37 total pitches. And when you have 6 earned runs on a third of an inning of pitching, that makes a season ERA of 162. 3-1 home to Grant Lung in the zone for a called strike. Harrison on deck with divots in the hole for Hayes. Scott goes home. Lung reaches for an off-speed and bloops it into left field. It's a leadoff single for the Larks in the first inning. For Grant Lung, that is the 11th single he's roped this season. And came into this AB with a .278 batting average. Bumps it up a tad there. And Cam Harrison comes to dish. Cougars line up with Esquivel in left field, Duhan in center, Koenig in right, Brazel at first, Yoshimura at second, Schmey at short, and Ortega at third base with Trumple behind the dish. Scott from the stretch, off speed with not a lot of velocity, high on Cam Pearson, the third baseman from Cochise College. Cam has spent a lot of time at first base this season, has played a little bit at second, and now getting into the start at third base today. This is Scott's 6th appearance of the season. He's 0-1. This is his 3rd start. Harrison pops this one out of play and will stay with 1 ball and add 1 strike to the count. Cam in yesterday's ballgame batted second, went 0 for 4. The top 2 in the Larks order went a combined 0 for 7, but picked up 3 walks. 1-1, a curveball that starts way up and ends up bouncing in front of the plate, 2-1. Scott has thrown 10 2/3 innings through his first 5 appearances. Struck out 18, walked 6, allowed 14 hits and 8 earned runs. Comes into this game with a 6.75 ERA. Slider misses outside, and they're going to check on Lung on the throw from Trumple to Brazel, not in time. Harrison, the 6'2 freshman from Gilbert, Arizona, won't get a pitch here, and they'll check on the other Arizona native, Grant Lung, at first base, not in time. Gets a swing and a miss on Pearson right here. Full counts. And we'll get a payoff pitch from Scott. Larks looking to extend their 5-game win streak in this one. Still nobody out in the bottom of the first. Runner on first, the payoff pitch home. Hit high to left field. Moving back is Esquivel. And it's going to be off the lights in left field. A 2-run home run for Cam Pearson. He puts the Larks up 2-0 here early. Add 2 to the scoreboard and add 2 RBIs to Pearson's season. That is home run number 1 of the season for Pearson. He had 5 last year and was tied for the team lead. Picks up RBIs number 13 and 14. He leads the team in those by 2 and now has 13 runs scored, and he ties Cord Jackson for the team lead. Scoring is Grant Lung for the 11th time this season. That's 3rd on the team, and the Larks have a 2-0 lead thanks to Cam Pearson and Grant Lung. That was just well hit and carried all the way. Wind not helping it, blowing slightly in from the left field corner. To the box now is Wyatt Divis, the DH. Base is empty, nobody out in the bottom of the first. 1-0 to Divis. Throw home from Scott. Hit to left center field. 3rd ball put in the air this inning. Moving to the wall is Duhan. It's going to drop behind him. It's off the warning track. Divis rounds first, rounds second. The ball will be finally gathered in center field, and it's a triple for Wyatt Divis. Larks just a double short of the cycle here with nobody out in the bottom of the first inning. Really seen the ball well off of Scott. For Wyatt Divis, that is his first triple of the season. Hit number 13, 9 singles, 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. And not a guy you want at the plate if you're Jeremiah Scott with a runner 90 feet from scoring. It's Grant Schmidt, who has the team lead for home runs, has 12 RBIs and 10 runs scored. Looking to pick up an early RBI right here. First delivery to the Hastings, Nebraska native. Misses the zone 1-0. Scott pitched against the Larks last year. Pitched on June 25th. It was a Thursday evening game at Larks Park. Threw 2 2/3 innings in relief. 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, hit 1 batter. And that was a W for the Larks. Larks went 2-2 against the Cougars last year, and they're 2-0 against them this season. Schmidt fouls this one off, 1-1. Larks have been seeing the ball well this series, and this one hangs in the air, and Schmidt doesn't take advantage of it like he wanted to. Moving to foul territory is Ortega, and he can't make the play on it and gives Grant Schmidt another chance. Larks had a home run yesterday. It was a huge one off the bat of Dylan Dreiling, a grand slam. Grant Schmidt also had a home run in the game as well. Schmidt drove in 2 runs on that. 6 runs scored in yesterday's ball game. 2/3, 6 runs scored off of home runs in yesterday's ball game. 2/3 of the Larks' runs scored. All 4 batters that put a ball in the air into the grass and outfield. And this inning, Grant Schmidt's going to round first and head to second. And he gets a double after it's well hit between Esquivel and Duhan. And the Larks have hit the cycle in the first inning with still nobody out. And that brings home Wyatt Davis, and it's a 3-0 ball game. And Scott just not getting the stuff he wants. And that was a gifted opportunity for Schmidt after a foul ball was dropped. One through 3 in the Larks order have scored, and 1 through 4 have been aboard. For Grant Schmidt, that is his second double of the season. Picks up RBI number 13. He is now in second place behind Cam Pearson. And Wyatt Davis just scored for the 9th time this season. Mound meeting between Trembled and Scott on the mound, as they still haven't recorded an out. Long started this inning with a single. Pearson hit a home run to bring him home. Davis tripled and scored. And Grant Schmidt just doubled home Davis. First delivery here to Leo Gemini, the center fielder out of St. Lo, France. This is the zone outside, 1-0. Good turnout at Larks Park. Not as big as the crowd on Friday and Saturday, but that's pretty normal for the Sunday crowd. Still, a lot of people here pushing quadruple digits. 1-0, swung on and missed, 1-1. Dominion in yesterday's ball game went 1 for 5 and scored 1 time. Larks were silent in the first, scored 1 in the second, then got 6 in the third and 2 in the 7th for their 9 runs. This one hangs in the air. Dominion waits on it, sends it off the inside of his bat, 1-2. As for the Cougars in yesterday's ball game, scored 2 in the third and got 1 in the 9th off of Cade Brown. Larks threw 4 pitches. The Cougars threw 3. Dylan Grierson got the start for Denver through 2 1/3. Hirsch came in relief through 4 innings, allowed 4 earned runs, the same amount as Grierson. And then Jake Terwilliger came in from center field to pitch through 1 2/3 innings and allowed 1 earned run. All 9 runs scored in yesterday's ballgame were earned. This one's popped a mile high over to the left side. Schmay moves into left field, and Schmidt retreats to second base, starts to head to third as there was nobody there, and holds up. It's the first down of the bottom of the first. That'll bring up Cade Brown to the dish, the first baseman from the University of Oklahoma. Brown battled assist for a little bit, and the Larks have had him back for their past 4 games. Brown batting .267 on the season. And we'll get his first look at Scott here. Didn't hit in yesterday's ballgame, but did pitch the 9th inning. 1-0 here to Cade Brown. Scott looks at Schmidt, goes from the stretch, almost hits the chest of Brown, 2-0. Scott has thrown just a third of an inning on 23 pitches, just 13 of those strikes, and has yet to throw a first pitch strike. Looks at Schmidt a couple times, goes home, and Brown under this swing went 2-1. Brown is 6'4", redshirt sophomore for OU Originally from California, played in California for 1 year of college at San Diego, and then took his talents to Norman, Oklahoma for the past 2 years. Two-one to Brown. Off speed, gets sent to the Cougars bullpen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brown 6-4 in the box. Scott 6-4 on the mound. Yoshimura giving some attention to Grant Schmidt at second base. Scott looks at him. Yoshimura is there if he wants to throw, and he decides to go home. 2-2 is a fastball that runs outside. Full count here to the Larks' 6th batter of the first inning. It's Jackson on deck with Loomis in the hole for your Hayes Larks. Trumbull gives the signs to his pitcher. Schmidt dances around. Big lead at second. The payoff pitch misses low, and it's the first walk of the inning for Hayes. And the 5th time a runner has reached base. Runners on first and second with one away for Cord Jackson. And we'll get a mound visit here from head coach Mark Cerullo and take a quick pause on Larks Network. Cord Jackson to the box now. Schmidt at second, Brown at first. And the first delivery home to Jackson. Fastball at the waist over the outside part of the plate. Called strike 1 on the shortstop from the University of Nebraska. Core went 2 for 2 yesterday with 3 runs scored and had 1 walk. Scored a third of the runs for Hayes and has a 1-1 count here. Moving in the pen for the Cougars, it's a righty. Scott has allowed 4 hits and walked 1 and just gotten 1 out. Curveball hangs way up in the air. Yoshimura slides for the ball in the middle infield. Can't make the play. Brown's going to go from first to third and get thrown out. But scoring from second is Grant Schmidt. It's an RBI single for Cord Jackson. And he moves to second on the throw to third. Larks 1 through 4 batters have scored a run today. 2 away, it's a 4-0 ball game.
The Larks catcher, number 25, Brock Loomis.
That'll bring Brock Loomis to the dish now. For Grant Schmidt, that was run score number 11. And for Cord Jackson, RBI number 9. 2 outs, runner on second in the bottom of the first. Scott will get his first look at Loomis. Loomis hasn't played in this series yet. Inside delivery, he decides to swing at it and fouls it off 0-1. Loomis, a 6'1 freshman at Butler Community College, will have 4 years of eligibility left of collegiate playing as he redshirted for Buco this year. Brock on the year, 2 hits in 12 at-bats, 1 single, 1 double, 4 RBIs. And he cranks this one to left field, and don't even worry about that one. The second 2-run shot of the game for Hayes. And Brock Loomis picks up his first home run of his Larks career and picks up RBIs number 5 and 6 on his season. And the Larks take a 6-0 lead. High fives his third base coach, Frank Leo, who was his head coach now at the Larks and back at Hayes High. And the Larks are teeing off on Scott. Could have been a 3-run home run had the Larks played a little safer on the base paths. But Cord Jackson scores, and so does Loomis. Now we'll bring up Zach Henry to the dish. A 6-0 ball game. 2 away, bases empty. That one was cranked to the same spot Pearson's was. This one a little bit farther. And the Larks have 6 hits and just as many runs. That was the first run Brock Loomis has scored this year, because every time he's gone to a base, he's had a courtesy runner since he's a catcher. 1-0 to Zach Henry, swung on a missed, 1-1. For Cord Jackson, that was his team-leading 14th run scored. Runs this inning have come from Lung, Pearson, Divis, Schmidt, Jackson, and Loomis. RBIs from Pearson, Schmidt, Jackson, and Loomis. 2-1 to Zach Henry, the left fielder, at the bottom of the order. 9th hitter the Larks have brought to the plate in this inning. It's been a long bottom of the first, but an exciting one. We've had 2 home runs, 1 double, 1 triple, and 2 singles. Hitters counts for Henry. Scott just not having a great day. This is going to inflate his ERA big time. Just 6 earned runs through 2/3 of innings pitched today. Almost a 5-pitch walk. The home plate umpire does not give Henry the call. Scott has had 37 pitches. 20 of those strikes, has thrown a first pitch strike to 2 of the 9 batters he's faced. And has 1 flyout and 1 other out coming off of a throw to third on the single from Jackson. Henry sends his payoff pitch into the Larks fan pavilion, and we'll get number 2. Do it for the Cougars in the second inning will be Koenig, Ortega, and Brazel. Payoff pitch number 2 to Henry above the letters on an off-speed. Walk number 2 of the inning for Scott, number 8 of the season. And there's a runner at first with 2 outs, and we go back to the top of the order. And that's going to be a day for Jeremiah Scott, the 6'4 freshman. And Grant Lung will be the first batter to face the new pitcher. And when we come back for the continuation of the first inning. Bottom of the first, Grant Long will make his second at bat of the inning, singled in to lead it off, and then came home on the Cam Pearson 2-run home run to left field. New pitcher into the game for the Cougars, Marcos Palacios. This is appearance number 3. Jeremiah Scott came into this game with an ERA of 6.75 and leaves this game with an ERA of 11.12. 2-0 as Henry steals second base uncontested. Zach Henry never has been shy to steal this year, has stolen his team-leading 9th base this season, has only been caught twice. The 2-0 to Grant Long. Slider catches the outside part of the plate, 2-1. Palacios made his first appearance against the Rough Riders on June 7th. It was a start. He went 3 innings and picked up the loss. 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Then his second appearance was against the Foxes. 2 appearances, 4 strikeouts, 1 hit, no earned runs. This is appearance number 3, and the first batter he faces, Grant Long, sends a fly ball to Esquivel in left field, and that'll end the first inning. Larks bring 10 hitters to the plate and score 6 runs off of 2 home runs. And we go to the second inning. Hayes up 6-0. Top of the second, Cade Brown, the first baseman. Corey Bright backs the mound for inning number 2 after a long bomber of the first. First inning took over 30 minutes. First pitch strike here to Braden Koenig, the right fielder, batting 5th. His first action of the series. The 0-1 he sends to the left side. Henry moves down the left field line, readjusts, and will make the catch on the right side of the left field foul line. Nice play, and there's one away in the second. That'll bring up DeMarcus Ortega, the third baseman, pitched against the Larks on Friday, and is getting his first action on the field and in the batter's box against them this season right now. Ortega bats 129, has 4 hits and 31 at-bats, all of those singles. Has driven in 1 run and scored 6 times. 1-0. Corey Bright, in his career at WCU, 15 appearances, has yet to win a ball game, and has 3 decisions against him, a 6.21 ERA, 6 starts and has an opponent batting average under 300 at 294. That's a good mark right there. Has struck out 31 and walked 20. 3 balls and no strikes to Ortega. I expect we'll see Hunter Parker in relief at some point in this game. Taking all the way is Ortega, and it's a 3-1 count. Bright walked one runner in the first, got 1 strikeout, got 1 runner out in a fielder's choice, and then a ground out ended the inning. 3-1 home, fastball bounces off the glove of Loomis, and it's a 5-pitch walk number 4 of the season for Bright.
The first baseman, number 26.
That is the 3rd time this year Ortega has walked. That'll bring up Will Brazel, the first baseman. Brazel didn't appear in yesterday's ball game. Let's get his first look at Corey right here. Bright has thrown 25 pitches, 13 of those strikes, and gets a swing and a miss on a 1-0 delivery, 1-1. Bright has thrown off 3 of the 7 batters he's faced with a first pitch strike, and is looking to pick up punch out number 2 on the day right here with 2 more strikes against Brazel, the first baseman. This one's grounded between Lung and Brown. It's a 1-out base hit, and there's 2 on. Throw to second, won't get Ortega. Rounded second base hard. Jackson applied the tag late. Not a whole lot of effort there, as it was pretty apparent he'd be back in safely. First hit of the game for the Cougars right there. 2 on, 1 out. Carson Trumpled, the catcher, into the box now. Almost a completely different lineup. Only returning guys in the order from yesterday is Yoshimura, Duhan, and Iwata. 0-1 to the catcher. Fastball outside, 1-1. Bright in his high school career in Kentucky, 111 strikeouts, was rated the 8th overall right-handed pitcher in Kentucky, and was the 48th overall player in Kentucky, according to Perfect Game. He's the only player on the Larks that goes to a college in North Carolina, and is the only player on the roster from the state of Kentucky on the Larks. One of 11 D1 players on the roster. The 2-1 home, grounded right back to him. Will think about second a little too late. Couldn't quite make up his mind early on what to do there. Will throw the first and take the easy out, and there's 2 away. Moving to the third is Ortega. Brazel moves to second, and Trumpled is out. 2 outs, 2 in scoring position in the second inning. It's a 6-0 ball game. This one, the first delivery to the bottom of the order, Esquivel, will be hit to center field, and Bright gets out of a jam with 2 runners on with 1 out. And after walking his second batter of the game and allowing his first hits, sends us to the bottom of the second, 6-0 lead for Hayes. Cam Pearson will lead off the second inning. The first pitch he sees, he ropes to Ortega. Would have been a play made by Palmer Hutchison, who's been the Larks' third baseman all year, and he's frustrated with it. Pearson goes to second. It's going to be a double, and then on the throw to second, goes to third as it goes over the head of Yoshimura. First error of the game for either team, and Pearson just now a single and a triple shy to cycle with still nobody out in the second inning.
Tonight's designated hitter, number 16, Wyatt Davis.
Pearson led the team in extra base hits last year and will pick up extra base hits number 4. 2 doubles now, 1 single and 1 home run. The home run came earlier in this game, was the first and second run scored of the first inning for Hayes. 2-run shot to left field brought home Grant Lung. Davis at the plate now, tripled in the first, and then came around to score off of Grant Schmidt's double. Pearson creeps down the third base line. And this delivery missed outside. I don't mean to give Ortega any flack for that ground ball that could have maybe been fielded. I think it just goes to show how good the Larks have been defensively this year, that's a ball I 100% trust to get fielded by Palmer Hutchison. Larks have only had a few games where they've been giving up errors defensively, and in those games they've been bad, giving up over 5 errors, but other than that, really solid and really consistent. Infield, Core Jackson has been great as shortstop. Palmer Hutchison has been great at second. Grant Lung, even when he makes a mistake, makes up for it and gets the ball to first somehow in time. And then Matt Cavanaugh has only played a few games with it because he's been hurt with an injury, but was the league player of the year for the Larks, or league defensive player of the year in 2019. So the defense is only going to get better once he gets fully healthy. Divis hits this one to right field. Brazel chases it. Koenig will let it bounce off the wall and probably does that wisely, as Cam Pearson would have scored had he caught it. We'll go 2-2 to Wyatt Divis. Larks got 6 hits, 2 walks, and 6 runs, and left 1 runner on in the first inning. Cougars have left 3 runners on, gotten 2 walks and 1 hit in their first 2 innings against Corey Bright. Schmidt on deck with Jiminy into the hole. The 2-2 to Wyatt Divis from Marcos Palacios. Misses low, and it's off the chest protector of Trumpold, and scoring easily for the second time today is Cam Pearson. It's a 7-0 ball game. And Divis has a full count. Pearson now 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Run scored number 14 this year for Pearson. That is now tied with Cord Jackson for the team lead. He tied Jackson on his home run, and then Jackson scored later in that same first inning. And now Pearson gets the number 1 spot back. Cam leads the team in RBIs and runs scored. The payoff pitch to Divis, grounded to Yoshimura just ahead of that one. Yoshimura will make an easy play to first base, makes it look easy, and gets the first out of the bottom of the second. Base is empty, 1 away for Grant Schmidt.
The right fielder, number 21, Grant
Had there not been a pass ball, that would have scored Pearson. Grant Schmidt to the box, doubled home Divis, and then later scored a run off of the Cord Jackson single. There were only 3 Larks in yesterday's ballgame that hadn't scored, and there was only 3 Larks in the first inning that didn't score. 0-1 as he fouls this one off to the left side. Strong wind moving across the diamond from the third base side to the first base side. The 0-1 to Schmitz. Hits high to the right field side. Koenig moves in, calls off Yoshimura, and will make the catch in right field. The ground out and a flat have been the 2 outs of this inning for the Larks. Palacios has gotten 3 of the 5 outs on the mound for the Cougars. Larks in the first inning singled to get it going. It was Grant Lung. Then Pearson had a 2-run shot to bring him home. Davis tripled Grant Schmidt, then doubled him home. Jeminian, 0-4 on the day, had popped up in that inning. And then Brown walked after Jeminian. And then Jackson singled home Schmidt from second. And Cade Brown was thrown out trying to go from first to third. And then Brock Loomis sent a 2-run shot to left field to bring home Cord Jackson. Then Henry got a walk, and then Lung flew out to end the inning. This one popped over to the left field side, and the play will be made by Ortega between third base and second base. Larks get a run off of a Cam Pearson double and then a wild pitch. They lead 7-0 as we move to the third from Hays, Kansas. Yuki Yoshimura will lead off the third inning for the Cougars, who are down by 7 since his first pitch on a frozen rope to Grant Schmidt in right field. 1 pitch, 1 up, 1 down here for the Cougars in the third. Yoshimura now 0 for 2 in the day.
The shortstop, number 4, Gavin Schmay.
We'll bring up Gavin Schmay. Walked against Bright, was the first runner of the game, and then was thrown out at second on a fielder's choice from Duhan. Bright wastes no time, goes home. 2 pitches, both swinging for the Cougars. This one's hit to right center field. Jeminian and Schmidt move towards it. And the Fort Hays State Tiger will call off the Clarendon College Bulldog, Leo Jeminian. Jeminian headed to Eastern Tennessee State University. 2 pitches for Bright. It's been an easy inning for him. And it'll bring up Braden Duhan, who reached on a fielder's choice in the first. Fastball from Bright, misses 1-0. Larks fans, make sure to subscribe while you're watching the YouTube stream. It's free. If you click the notification bell, you'll get notified each time we go live. Over 2/3 of our views are from people who aren't subscribed. And when you subscribe, it really helps us out. This one's lined to right field. Cade Brown uses that 6'4" frame to leap up, but just a couple inches under the ball. Good effort, and it's the second hit of the game for the Cougars. The second time Duhan's been aboard. Runner on first with 2 away to Kane Iwata, who's 0 for on the day, into the top of the first on the ground out to Grant Lung. Bright's again his second appearance through 86 pitches against the Saints on Monday. 52 strikes, 34 balls, averaged 14 1/3 pitches per inning. and threw an average of 3.6 pitches to each batter he faced. It's a great 6-inning performance and a Larks classic after being down 11-1, coming back and winning 18-16 in 12 innings. This one's hit to right field. Grant Schmidt breaks in and then holds up, lets it bounce. Back-to-back singles for the Cougars, puts 2 on with 2 outs. Duhan to second, Iwata to first. 3 hits in the game for Denver.
The right fielder, number 11, Braden Koenig.
And that brings up Braden Koenig, the right fielder, who flew out to Zach Henry to start the second inning in his only plate appearance. Cougars, no hits in the first inning, 1 in the second, and now 2 here in the third. Still looking for their first run. They left 2 runners on in the second and looking to not do the same here right now. 0-1 as Bright gets the strike call. Do it for the Larks in the bottom of the third will be Brown, Jackson, and Loomis, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. 0-1. Bright doesn't get the call here. A nice pitch. Can't bait a swing or a call to the umpire. Bright got 18 outs on the mound on Monday and had 13 of the batters out on 3 pitches or less. This one's grounded to the third base side. It's going to bounce into left field, and it's going to be a run scored for Denver, their first. And they're going to rule it a hit. 3 straight singles, scoring is Duhan, and it's an RBI for Braden Koenig. So Bright, after looking good, 2 pitches and 2 outs in this inning, has allowed 3 straight singles, and there's 2 on, and a 1-7 ball game. For Duhan, that is RBI number 2, run scored number 3 on the season. And for Koenig, that is his 3rd RBI. 1-0 home. This one's roped to left field. It's going to drop. Zach Henry gets to it. The throw home would be in time. It had been accurate, pulling Brock Loomis a third of the way down the first base line. And it's an RBI single for DeMarquez Ortega. Now 1-for-1 with the walk and a single. Picks up an RBI. And scoring from second is Kane Iwata. And moving to third base is Braden Koenig. Runners on the corners, and Keith Harper's going to want to have a chat with Corey Bright after allowing 4 straight singles. 7-2 ball game here in the top of the third. For Ortega, that was RBI number 2. And for Kane Iwata, that was run scored number 5. Koenig at third, Ortega at first, and we'll get to Will Brazel after the mound visit. Stand up to cancer night here at Larks Park. Larks sporting their pink uniforms, and support of that will honor the ceremony at the completion of the 6th inning. It's the pink jersey with the Lark on the front, blue number on the back with blue lettering, blue hats with the red and white HL on the front, white pants for Hayes. As for Denver, the only road team I've seen wear white pants, and they're sporting their 3rd jersey of the series, a black jersey with a white number, gray striping down the side. Brazel to the box now, singled in the second, and was left on base after a ground out and a flyout. 0-1 to the first baseman. Right sets up, goes home. Off speed, misses low, 1-1. Yoshimura started this inning out with a flyout to Schmidt. Then Schmidt did the same thing. Duhan, Iwata, Koenig, and Ortega all single consecutively and scored 2 runs. Swing and a miss. Changeup works for Bright here. 1-2. Grant Lung significantly towards the first base side on the defensive shift. Larks don't shift a lot here, and they are on the third baseman. Runner starts to break for second at Ortega, then holds up as Loomis blocks it and sends it close to the third base line. 2 balls in, 2 strikes, 2 out runners on the corners in the top of the third. Bright goes home, fastball, swing and miss, his second strikeout on the day, number 5 on the season. And we go to the bottom of the third after the Cougars get 4 hits and 2 runs. Bottom of the third, leading off is Cade Brown as Palacios is back to the mound for the third inning that he'll work in. 1-0 on Brown. Brown walked in the first against Jeremiah Scott, is getting his first look at Palacios here. Jackson on deck with Loomis in the hole. Hayes up by 5. Halfway to a run rule. And the third. 2-0 on Brown. Waits on this one, and a well-hit ball on the ground between Schmay and Ortega. It's a leadoff single. The Larks have their third straight leadoff hit. One single from Lung led off the first. Pearson doubled to lead off the second. And now Brown has singled to lead off the third. Runner on first with nobody out. Larks got 6 runs in the first, 1 in the second, and are looking to add to their total here in the third. First delivered to Jackson outside. Palacios, an unranked recruit in the class of 2020 out of Denver, Colorado, played for USA Prime Colorado in 2020 and went to high school and pitched there at Denver East. 6-foot righty, 2-0 count to Jackson. Jackson, 17-year-old and a Nebraska commit. Two and 1 on the shortstop for Hayes, batting 7th. Jackson on the day, 1 for 1 with a single, 1 run driven in and 1 run scored. Chops this one over to the right side, and he thought it was foul off the plate, and the umpire gives him late confirmation as it rolls into foul territory. 2-2. Palacios pitches for the Bismarck State Mystics. That's a JUCO team in Bismarck, North Dakota. In his freshman year, made 6 appearances on the mound, all in relief through 10 innings, walked 14, struck out 13, and had an ERA of 3.6. 4 earned runs on the year and had a strikeout per 9 inning rate of 11.7. Jackson fouls this one off to stay alive. Brown at first, Jackson at the dish, Loomis on deck with Henry in the hole. Palacios gets set, gets the signs from Trimpled and goes home. 2-2 inside on a curveball. Doesn't like that location. Shakes his head and has a 3-2 count versus Core Jackson. Looks over his shoulder at Cade Brown, who's just now getting his lead at first. Not a big one, but enough to get the attention. And the payoff pitch is a walk. Walk number 3 of the day for the Hayes Larks in the batter's box. The first one that Palacios has allowed. And up to the plate now is Brock Loomis, who got his first RBIs of the series in the first inning in his first at-bat of the series on a 2-run shot to left field, bringing home Core Jackson. Brown at second, Jackson at first, Loomis at the dish. Palacios goes home, righty versus righty. Fastball, a nice pitch inside, and he doesn't seem happy with his location on the mound. Got a righty in the bullpen for Denver. Nobody moving for Hayes. Larks have 8 hits versus the Cougars 5. 1 error for Denver, none for the Larks. Loomis lines this one on the ground to Ortega. Has some trouble with it. Was trying to get a double play and tag third. And he's not happy with himself. That's a second mistake he's made today. It's an error, and the bases are loaded. He's really frustrated. Slaps his glove on the ground. And we'll apologize to Palacios. Brown at third, Jackson to second, Loomis at first. Bases loaded, nobody out in the bottom of the third. And Palmer Hutchison will run for Brock Loomis.
Courtesy runner for the Larks at first base. Palmer Hutchison, the courtesy runner.
Henry to the box. 0 for 0 in the day with a walk. Stole second base and then was left there in the first inning. Ortega at third, pitched against the Larks on Friday through 2/3 of an innings. Both outs were on strikeouts. No hits, no walks, but did hit one batter. It was his 3rd appearance on the year. 1-0 to Henry. Early on this swing, fouls it down 1-1. Brown started this inning out with a single. Jackson walked, and then Loomis just reached on an error that could have been a double play. Palacios looks home, goes home. 1-1, catches the outside corner, 1-2. Long on deck for Hayes with Pearson in the hole. 4th hitter of the inning. Larks now bringing their 18th hitter to the plate in this ball game through 2 statistical innings of pitching for the Cougars. 1-2, line to right field is going to drop 5 feet into foul territory. Well hit ball. It could have been a triple for somebody as fast as Zach Henry and would have cleared the bases. Instead, we'll stay at 1-2. We'll get some new baseballs to the umpire, and Henry will step back into the left-hander's batter's box, down 1-2. Palacios gets set. The 1-2 home will hit Zach Henry, and that will bring home a run. Palacios thought he moved into it, I think. But either way, it's an RBI taken a painful way for Henry. That brings home Cade Brown, and now 7 Larks runners have scored. Or 7 Larks players have scored, 8 runs have scored. Loomis to second, and Jackson moved over to the third. Still nobody out, 8-2 ball game. For Cade Brown, that was run scored number 6 on the season in 5 games. And for Zach Henry, that is RBI number 8 in 11 games. Hasn't hit in all 11 games. There's some games that he's had the day off, but he's been the courtesy runner for the catcher. Larks like to use him and Tyler Palmer as the courtesy runners. Tyler Palmer down with an injury. The 3 fastest guys on the Larks roster, Henry, Jiminian, and Palmer. 2 of them playing tonight in the outfield, Jiminian in center, Henry in left field, and then Tyler Palmer's been out with an injury. We're hoping to get him back for the Tuesday or Wednesday game against the Boulder Collegians. That'll be a 2-game series against Boulder after the Larks will have tomorrow off. 2-0 to Grant Lung. Bases jacked. This delivery home fouled off. Tough situation for Palacios. Don't want to give a good hitter a 3-0 count with the bases loaded, but you can't give Lung something good to hit. Larks have scored in each of the first 3 innings, 6 in the first, 1 in the second. Have scored 1 in the third, still haven't recorded an out. This is Lung's 3rd plate appearance. 1 for 2 in the day with a single, a run scored, and a flyout. His first 2 ABs were in the first inning. Checks his swing and fouls it off here. 2-0 count becomes a 2-2 count after 2 straight foul balls. Lung scored for the 11th time this season earlier in the first inning and picked up single number 9. 2-2 inside. The ball gets away from Trumpold for a second, regathers it, and Jackson will head back to third base. Full count to Lung. Zach Henry was just hit by a pitch to bring home a run. That was the 3rd time he's been plunked this season. Excuse me. That's the 2nd time he's been plunked this season. And that is the 3rd batter Palacios has hit this year. The payoff pitch with the bases loaded. Fouled off. Good swing there from Grant Lung. Grant's parents made the trip from Arizona to spend a weekend in Hayes and see their son play for the 2nd straight season. They came up last year and decided to make the trip again. We always like seeing the families of the players come up and visit Larks Park and enjoy the stay. Always hear great things from them. The payoff pitch hit hard to right field. Could it be a grand slam? The 2nd of the series. Looking up is Koenig, and it's a grand slam for Grant Lung. A run scored for the Larks, number 9, 10, 11, and 12. They take a 12-2 lead, and Grant Lung picks up his first home run of the season on the payoff pitch, and it's a rough day for the Cougars, and they look defeated on the field. That's the 2nd grand slam for the Larks on this series. The other one was yesterday from Dylan Dreiling in a 5 RBI game for the right fielder, and Lung picks up run scored number 2 on the day, brings home Jackson, Loomis, and Henry. Jackson has now scored twice today and 15 times on the season, and scoring was Loomis for the first time this season. Or excuse me, that was Hutchison running for him. The 11th run Hutchison has scored this season, and Henry just scored for the 8th time. Lung just scored for the 12th time and picked up RBIs number 7, 8, 9, and 10. Pointed to his parents in the crowd as he rounded third and touched home plate. And he puts the Larks up 12-2. And it was still nobody out in the 3rd inning. And we'll get a new pitcher into the game for the frustrated Cougars.
ballpark where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Still nobody out in the bottom of the third. Larks have scored 5 in this inning. They're up by 10 as Cam Pearson comes to the plate for his third AB in 3 innings. Grant Lung just hit a grand slam to put the Larks up by additional 4 runs. 0-1 on Pearson. New pitcher into the game replacing Palacios is Jason Simpson, number 23. Simpson now making 5 appearances on the year, 4 in relief. Has an ERA of 39.462 as he's given up 19 runs in just 4 1/3 innings pitched. And the Cougars are trying to get him on track here. And this delivery to Pearson misses low, 2-2. Larks have brought 5 hitters to the plate in this inning and have scored all of them. Pearson on the day, 2 for 2, a double and a home run. Takes this delivery outside, nice eye, full count. If you followed the Larks last season, Larks had Landon Shire out of George Fox University, a D3 school on the West Coast. And that is where Jason Simpson, the new right-handed pitcher, pitches at. From Highlands Ranch, Colorado, pitched at Mountain Vista before going to George Fox. Has made 2 appearances for George Fox, both in relief. 2 1/3 innings pitched, striking out 2. And had given up a few earned runs. 8 earned runs, walking 10, striking out 3. First batter he faces, he walks, and Cam Pearson's aboard for the 3rd time today. You could almost say it's a leadoff base runner for the Larks since there's still nobody out, and the bases were empty after Grant Lung's grand slam reset the inning and got us a new pitcher. Jason Simpson was rated the 20th overall right-handed pitcher coming out of Colorado and the 57th overall player in Colorado according to Perfect Game. Just shout out Landon Shire. Pitched for the Larks last year to George Fox and then has spent the past year at Angelo State with former Larks. One of those being Justin Lee at that D2 school down in Texas. 1-0 to Wyatt Divis. 1 for 2 on the day with a triple and a ground out. 1-0 Pearson, a big lead at first base. Simpson takes a deep breath and will check over at Cam. Cam, good reaction, slides head first safely. It's been a long top of the 3rd, just like the bottom of the 1st. This is the 7th hitter the Larks have brought to the plate without recording an out in this inning. 1-0 to Divis. Hangs in the air, checks swing, and sends it into the Larks crowd. or will drop in front of the crowd and stay catchable, but won't be making the catches trump gold. 1-1. Larks fans, make sure to follow the Larks on Twitter and follow Larks on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube, all free, and stay up to date with all things Larks baseball for the whole summer of 2021 in the Larks' 75th anniversary season. Schmidt on deck with Jiminian in the hole for Hayes. Infield playing back in the middle, corners in, and Divis sends this one to center field. Moving back is Duhan. He keeps moving. He's on the warning track and will make the catch. And Pearson, who was at second base, will head back to first. Well hit ball for Divis, just not quite enough carry to get past the 405 marker in center field. And there's now one away.
The right fielder, number 21, Grant Schmidt.
Grant Lungo had that grand slam earlier in this inning. He's been one of the only players I've ever seen hit a home run to straight center field at Larks Park past that 405 marker. That was in 2019 against the Larks when he was on the Valley City Mud Daubers. First pitch to Grant Schmidt, misses low, 1-0. Schmidt doubled in the second and then flew out to Koenig in the second. He doubled home a run. That was Wyatt Divis that he brought home in the first, and then he later scored off the bat of Core Jackson. 1-0 to Schmidt, waits on it and grounds it between Ortega and Schmay, No longer at third base is Ortega. They put Yoshimura at third base. Gotta say, I don't think any guys on the diamond have more fun than Yoshimura. It's been a treat to watch. Even when they're losing, still brings energy to the field. That looks like Aiden Smith now at second base for the Cougars. Not sure where they put Ortega or if they even pulled him. One away. This delivery to Leo Jiminian will miss low, 1-1. Jiminian on the day 0 for 2 with 2 pop-ups, 1 to Ortega and 1 to Schmay. Still Simpson on the mound. He'll go from the stretch home to Jiminian. Hangs in the air on the curveball, and it's hit to right field. And moving into foul territory is Brazel, and he will make the catch for out number 2. Schmidt at first base with Pearson at second base for the Larks. And that will bring up Cade Brown. Cade Brown's the dish. He led this inning off with a single. Since then, the Larks going to walk, and then Loomis reached on an error that proved to be costly, loaded the bases, and then Zach Henry was hit on by a pitch to bring home Brown from third, and then Grant Long hit a grand slam to put the Larks up 12-2. 2 outs, 2 on. This one again popped over to the right side, 0-2 on Brown. Brown the day 1 for 1 with a walk, a single. Has gone to second base twice and scored once. Due for the Cougars in the 4th inning will be Trumpold, Esquivel, and Yoshimura. Oh, 2 to Brown. Changeup fouled back. Simpson, not a ton of velocity there. Has thrown some pitches that the Larks haven't taken advantage of, and I think if they keep him in the game very long, the Larks will start to turn on him. So Corey Bright has had a ton of rest between innings on the mound, especially between the 1st and 2nd and the 3rd and 4th. We'll expect to see Trey Riggs and maybe Hunter Parker later in this game. 0-2 fouled off and back. The 0-2 to Brown again from Simpson. Changeup will strike him out, and Larks bring 10 to the plate, score 5 in the third. They lead 12-2 from Larks Park. Top of the fourth, Corey Bright back to the mound again. Leading off is Carson Trumple, the catcher, who grounded out to Bright for the second out of the second inning. And he does ground this one to the Larks dugout. 1-1 on the catcher. Bright in this game, gone 3 innings, 49 pitches, 28 strikes, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and 2 walks. 2-1 count on Trimple, the catcher. Bright goes from the windup, nice curveball in the zone for a call strike 2, paints the bottom outside corner. He's looking for strikeout number 4 right here, strikeout number 3 right here. Doesn't get it, and we'll get a payoff pitch as it misses outside. Bright from the windup again. He goes home, hangs this one in the air, and is grounded too early to the third base dugouts. And chasing it down the line will be Jackson Blue. Game 3 of a 3-game series. Larks looking to sweep it here tonight, and you got to feel comfortable if you're a Larks fan. Swung on and foul tipped on payoff pitch number 2. Bright in his first appearance. 4 leadoff outs in the 6 innings he pitched. And then had half of his innings. He got the first 2 batters out and had 3 1-2-3 innings. Half of his innings came on 13 pitches or fewer, and a great game in relief when the Larks needed somebody to be solid. He stepped up to the plate along with Wyatt Divis to get the Larks the win on last Monday. Larks will have this Monday off, and they'll be back for a 2-game series against the Collegians. Payoff pitch number 3 popped over to the right side. Loomis and Brown go forward And Brown will call off Loomis and Bright and make the catch in front on the home plate side of the first base coaching box. Triple now 0 for 2 on the day. Larks have been very good this year at being vocal when they're calling off their teammates. Bottom of the order to the box is Nicholas Esquivel, 0 for 1 the day with a flyout. 1-0 on the left fielder. Got a guy getting loose for the Larks in the bullpen. Can't tell who it is from here. It's a righty. Could very well be Trey Riggs. He should be next to up in the Larks rotation today. 1-1 home. Slider misses down low, 2-1. Bright has one wild pitch on the year. Has 6 0-walk innings on the mound. Averages 1/3 of a walk per inning. Those strikes on about 65% of his pitches. And in his first game, started off 15 of the batters he faced with a first pitch strike. Has done that 9 times out of the 17 batters he's faced today. The 3-1, ground to the left side. Cirillo makes the play on it, and the third base coach's box. And we'll get a full count. The second full count worked for the Cougars this inning. Yoshimura on deck with Schmey in the hole. Bright from the windup, the payoff pitch, his 4th of the inning, lined back, and he will end up throwing 5 payoff pitches in this inning. They're getting his pitch count high early in the 4th. Gone 3 1/3, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. Pitch count above 60. Payoff pitch number 2 of this AB. 5 of the inning. Misses low and he walks his 3rd batter of the ball game. First time as Squivel has been on board today.
Top of the batting order for the Cougars, the second baseman, number 1, Yuki Yoshimura.
So we'll go back to the top of the order. It's the third baseman, Yuki Yoshimura. 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a flyout. Flew out to Grant Schmitz for the first out of the 3rd inning, and he's going to get a base hit here. The 6th of the game for Denver. And 2 on, 1 out.
The shortstop, number 4, Gavin Schmey.
Gavin Schmey, the shortstop, to the box. This one grounded to Court Jackson. Takes a high bounce, and he will turn to long for 1, and the throw to first will just barely be in time in front of Schmey, and this might get contested. And the first base coach, Mark Lishansky, will have something for the umpire. But that will end it. A 6-4-3 double play in the 4th will get Corey Bryant out of a jam, and we go to the bottom half. Hayes up 12-2. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned in to Larks Network. Bottom of the fourth, Court Jackson leading off against Simpson. First pitch he sees, he grounds to Brownsville at first base. And it's a leadoff ground out. The first inning, the Larks have started out without a leadoff hit. Larks starting off the first with a single, then a double in the second, and then a home run in the third. And now we'll start this one out with the ground out. One away, base is empty for Brock Loomis. 1 for 2 on the day with a two-run shot in the first, and then he reached on an error in the third and came around, or Palmer Hutchison courtesy ran for him, and then Hutch scored. Sends his first pitch here into center field. Brock now has 2 hits on the day and his first game played of the series, and trying to get some more playing time here as Brady Evans has been the catcher for most of the season. And we'll get a courtesy runner. It's Palmer Hutchison, Brock Loomis' teammate from Hayes High. Toss him the helmet. And that is the Larks' 11th hit of the ball game. And that takes us to the bottom of the order. Zach Henry still hasn't recorded a statistical at-bat in this ball game. Walked in the first, was the last batter that Jeremiah Scott faced. And then Palacios hit him. Henry fouls his first one off, 0-1. Jason Simpson on the mound, trying to get his ERA down from when he entered the game with a 39.46 ERA and a whip of 4.85. The 0-1 to Henry misses low, or they will say it's at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes to the left fielder out of the University of Texas at Arlington. Trey Riggs fully moving in the pen now. We'll see if the Larks want to bring him in for the 5th. It would take Corey Bright out of the win discussion unless the Larks run rule the Cougars in 7 innings. This one's grounded hard to Yoshimura. Tosses it to Schmay for 1, to first for 2. A 4-6-3 double play. Both teams end their innings with double plays in the 4th. And we go to the 5th. Hayes up 12-2 on Larks Network.
Yeah, no, 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 yeah, no, 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 yeah, no, no,
Top of the 4th we go. Top of the 5th we go. Corey Bright backs him out for inning number 5. A nice play from Grant Lung at second base. Slides in the grass in the outfield and will throw out Braden Duhan at first base. A nice play from Grant Lung. That'll bring up Kane Iwata to the dish. Iwata on the day 1 for 2, and now Duhan back to the dugout 1 for 3. Nice slider from Bright, 0-1. One and one. Bright throws first pitch strikes to roughly 53% of the batters he faces. And when he does it, over 80% of those first pitch strike ABs end up in and outs. And less than 1/10 of the time do they end up in a walk. 1-2 to Iwata. Bright will go from the windup, the 1-2 home, and it will be off the number 14 on the DH's jersey. He'll take a hit by pitch and go to first. The first hit by pitch of the day for Corey Bright. And on the season for Corey, hit by pitch number 2. That's the first time this year that Iwata had been punked. I was looking at his run scored total. So runner on first with one away to Braden Koenig. On the day, he's 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI. Hits this one in the gap in right center field. It's going to be extra bases and maybe even a run. Cirillo's going to send home Arala, and he changes his mind and holds Iwata at third. It's a one-out double, and there's 2 on, both in scoring position with 1 out. Iwata at third, Koenig at second. The dish is Ortega. That'll be Aiden Smith. He came in to play second base, and they moved Yoshimura over to third base. One. So it was a day for DeMarcus Ortega, who looked very frustrated with his performance earlier. First delivery to him, off speed inside, 1-0. Brazel, the first baseman on deck, but Trumpled in the hole. Smith hit in yesterday's ballgame, batted 8th, 1 for 3, picked up a walk, struck out twice, and scored 2 times. 1-1 is the count, as this one is fouled off early. Started to swing and held up, and Riggs continuing to get loose in the bullpen for Hayes. Still a strong wind moving from left to right across the field. The 1-1 home. And breaking home is Iwata. Loomis slides to block the ball and looks him back to the back. So Ortega, who wasn't having a bad day at the plate, walked in his first AB and then singled in his second. Won't get a third try here. 3-1 to Smith. Smith on the year batting .318 with an on-base percentage of .400 flat. The 3-1 slider catches the outside part of the plate, and the home plate umpire gives Bright the call. It's a full count. He looks in, and Loomis sets up down the middle. The payoff pitch, his 6th in the past 2 innings, is fouled off. He's threw 5 payoff pitches in the 4th, and now will throw 2 in the 5th. About an hour and a half into this ball game, just over that, in the top of the 5th with 1 away. Looks at the runner at third. Bright goes home. Payoff pitch number 2, off speed, slides low and outside, and now there's a double play situation for the Larks. And Frank Leo stands up in the dugout And since Jackson Blue to the bullpen, Blue not suited up to play, I'm sure he's just sending a message. Neither Keith Harper or Leo moved to the mound. Bases are loaded with one away to Will Brazel, who's 1 for 2. Missing the zone here is Bright, 1-0. For Corey Bright, that is walk number 4 on the day through 4 1/3. He struck out 2, giving up 2 earned runs and 7 hits. 2-0. 3 straight balls for Corey. He'll go from the stretch, could go from the windup if he chose to. As the bases are loaded, does get the call here at the knees, 2-1. Trumpled on deck with Esquivel in the hole. Swing and a miss, fastball. Gets him to swing above it, 2-2. Through 3 straight balls, now has thrown 2 straight strikes. Riggs ready for when the Larks need him, but they're putting their trust in Bright here. They did it on Monday, and it worked. He will strike out his 3rd batter of the game on an inside delivery. Just tied him up as it started outside the plate, moved inside, and Brazel is back to the dugout for his 2nd time striking out against Bright. Both swinging, has been the victim of 2 of the 3 strikeouts for Corey Bright. 2 away, bases loaded. Bright looking to get out of another jam. Hasn't been fazed by the pressure on him today. No matter what the situation is, gets himself composed and has found a way to get 3 outs. Stepping back is Trumpled, fouls it to the opposite field and out of play, 0-1. And the Larks crowd is feeling the momentum for Bright and letting him know it and giving him some encouragement. Under the lights here at Larks Park, 8:52 p.m. here in north central Kansas. Bright will go from the stretch, the 0-1 home. Nice pitch, 0-2 counts. We'll look to get strikeout number 4 and end this top of the 5th inning and leave the bases loaded. He's gotten bases left on, or runners left on base in each inning. 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd and 3rd, and then 1 in the 4th. This one's hit to right center field, and it's going to drop and roll to the 349 sign. 1 scores, 2 scores. The 3rd one's going to be sent home, and it's going to be a 3-run double for Carson Trumpled. And after being just 1 strike away from ending the inning, the Cougars pick up 3 runs and cut the lead to 7. Scoring for the 2nd time today is Iwata. Koenig scores for the 1st time, and Smith scores for the 1st time. Picking up 3 RBIs is Trumpled, and he's at 2nd in a 12-5 ball game.
Andrew Hirsch, the courtesy runner at 2nd base.
I'll bring up Andrew Hirsch to courtesy run at 2nd. He was the pitcher in relief in yesterday's ball game. And Harper will come out of the Larks dugouts. For Trumpled, those were RBIs number 1, 2, and 3 on the year. Picks up his first hit of the season, 2 right there. It's a double. Scoring for the 2nd time is Iwata. Run score number 6 on the season. Scoring is Koenig for the 1st time this year. And scoring is Smith along with them for the 13th time Smith has scored. He leads the team by 4 runs, and we will get a new pitcher. It'll be Trey Riggs into the game for the Hayes Larks, and it's a day for Corey Bryant. Goes 4 2/3, and we'll be back to the dugouts, and we'll be right back on Larks Network. It's a day for Corey Bryant after 4 2/3. He gives a 7-run lead to Trey Riggs. Riggs, a 6-foot freshman from Hayes, Kansas, played for the Dodge City Community College Conquistadors for the past 2 years. And before I can read off the rest of his bio, he'll get a ground out to Cord Jackson, and that'll send us to the bottom of the 5th. Cougars get 3 in the 5th. They're down by 7 on Larks Network.
What we do here is go back.
Bottom of the 5th, we go. Grant Lung will lead it off. After a 3-run 5th for the Cougars. Hayes still up 12-5. One to 0 on Lung. Still Jason Simpson on the mound for Denver. Grant on the day 2 for 3 with a grand slam and a single. Sends a fly ball to left center field. Making the catch will be Duhan. And there's one away on 2 pitches in the 5th. That'll bring up Cam Pearson to the dish. Cam on the day, a home run, a 2-run shot, a double, and a walk. Has scored 2 times and driven in 2. This will be his first look at Jason Simpson. One and 0 to Pearson. Simpson from the windup, and Pearson sends it out to play. Corey Bryant for the Larks goes 4 2/3, 8 hits, 3 strikeouts, 4 walks, 5 earned runs, 88 pitches, 51 of those strikes. And then Trey Riggs comes in to get the final out of the 5th and will return for the 6th. Slider outside, 2-1. And already Brady Evans, the catcher not playing in this game, heads back to the bullpen to warm up another guy. The right line right at Brazel. Soft play made, and he gets the second out of the 5th inning.
The designated hitter, number 16, Wyatt Divis.
So I'll bring up Wyatt Divis. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Tripled in the first and then grounded out in the second and flew out in the third. This one home misses the zone. 1-0 to Wyatt Divis. Throw home 2-0. Hits this one hard to right field. Had the distance, but is going to be foul. Simpson is now thrown 2 2/3, giving up 2 hits, striking out 1 and walking 1. 2-1 to the DH from the University of Texas at Arlington. Simpson goes home, and we'll get a strike 2 call on Divis over the outside part of the plate. Divis will step out and then step back in with an adjusted strike zone. 2-2, 2 outs, and the bottom of the 5th, 12-5 game. Base is empty. Sends this one up the middle. Shifted is Yoshimura. That's Smith now at second. Yoshimura at second, at third now. And Smith, the diving effort won't be getting Divis out, and he's aboard for the second time today. And they bring up Grant Schmidt to the dish. Grant on the day, 2 for 3 in his second game played of this 3-game series. Doubled in the first and then singled in the third. Has scored once and driven in 1. Those were both in the first inning. Divis never gets a big lead at first. Has a couple stepped 1 at first. And Schmidt's behind the first pitch from Simpson, 0-1. Grant has gotten hits on almost every pitch count possible this season, and has just had a great year so far. This ball is going to bounce off of Trumple. Divis holds at first. 1 ball and a strike to the right fielder. Schmidt had a home run in yesterday's ball game. As one of 2 Larks with a home run. The other one was from Dylan Dreiling, which was a grand slam. Two and 1 to Schmidt. Jiminian on deck with Brown in the hole. Jiminian and Henry, the only guys that started for the Larks to not record a hit, and Zach Henry was just pulled when the pitching change happened in the top of this inning, so he will go down and finishes day 0 for 1, but has been aboard 2 times, driven in a run and scored 1 run. 2-2 to Schmidt. Righty versus righty. The 2-2s. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And it's another strikeout for Simpson. And on the day, that is strikeout number 2 on the mound. Larks still lead by 7 as we move to the 6th inning from Hayes, Kansas. Top of the 6th. We go. Leading it off is the top of the order, Yuki Yoshimura. 1 for 3 on the day with one strikeout, 1 foul, and 1 single. His first look at Trey Riggs on the mound, 1-0. For Trey Riggs, this is appearance number 4 on the season. Got the last out of the 5th. First appearance was on Saturday, June 5th versus the Roughnecks. And then made an appearance a week later versus the Colorado Sox. Picked up his first loss of the season, the only loss of the season for the Larks. Then came in on Wednesday, June 16th, this last Wednesday, and got the start versus the Kansas Cannons. In total, has thrown 4 2/3 innings, 2 appearances in relief, 1 game starting, 0-1 on the year, has allowed 12 hits, 7 earned runs, 6 walks, 6 strikeouts, and has an ERA of 13.5 with a whip of 3.857. This is just his second league game pitching in. 1-2 on Yoshimura. This one misses 2-2. Wind whipping at Trey Riggs' jersey. Delivers a 2-2 outside. Full counts. Riggs appeared in 1 game for the Larks in 2019. That was against the Boulder Collegians very late in the season. Then last year was a full member of the Larks roster. Made 9 appearances and walks Yoshimura here. Second straight time Yoshimura will be aboard. For Trey Riggs, that is his first walk of the day and walk number 7 on the season. First delivery here to Gavin Schmay. This is 1-0. Schmay on the day, 0 for 2 with a flyout and a double play and a walk. Riggs last year with the Larks 1-1 through 12 innings, all 9 appearances in relief. Got his first start in his Larks career 5 days ago. Last year, 13 strikeouts and 5 walks. At Hayes High under Frank Leo was a dominant pitcher. Went 6-2 his senior year with an ERA under 2. Was a very reliable guy for the Hayes High Indians to turn to. Was a Sports in Kansas honorable mention All-State. And was a 5A first-team All-State in 2019 from the same service. And he gives up a 2-run home run here, right past the 349 sign. And Schmay makes it a 12-7 ball game. Then the game just keeps getting longer. Yuki Yoshimura gets loud cheers from his team as he sprints home from third and scores the 6th run. And Schmay follows him up, scores the 7th run. Base is empty, nobody out. Crowd continues to dwindle down on this Sunday evening. First time Yoshimura has scored today. And that is run scored for him, number 4 on the season. For Gavin Schmay, that is home run number 1. That's his first hit of the season. In just his second game, picks up RBIs number 2 and 3 and scores his 2nd run of the season. Nobody in the pen and a 1-1 count to Braden Duhan. Throw home from Riggs, grounded to Cord Jackson, waits on it, throws to Cade Brown, and he will record the out for the first out of the 6th inning. So after walking 1 and allowing a home run, Riggs gets a ground out to the 6th spot. Now batting, Kane Iwata, 1 for 2 on the day with a hit by pitch, a single and a ground out, has scored 2 of the 7 runs for Denver. And now there's a righty in the pen for Hayes. First delivery to Iwata, sky down the right field line and out of play. One away, base is empty, 0-1 count on Iwata. Big gap there between pitches, and Riggs will get set. Righty versus righty matchup. He goes home. This one's lined down the left field line and into foul territory, 0-2. Koenig on deck with Smith in the hole for the Denver Cougars. Can't tell who the pitcher is from here. But it's another righty for Hayes. Larks, check my stats real quick, but I believe we only have 2 left-handed pitchers on our roster. And Jake Fitzgibbons and Trevor Munch. But I will double check that here. This one's grounded right at Trey Riggs' glove. And it'll be a 1-out single, the second hit of the day for second hit of the inning for the Cougars. And the second single today for Kane Iwata. That'll bring up Braden Koenig as Brock Loomis will have a chat with Trey Riggs. 3 Hayes High alumni on the field for Hayes. Brock Loomis, the catcher, class of 2020. And then Palmer Hutchison at third base, Trey Riggs on the mound, both class of 2019. All played under Frank Leo at Hayes High School. And yes, there is only 2 left-handed pitchers on the Larks roster. They had Dylan Dreiling for a little bit, but he's got his own club team to play for this summer. He made 1 appearance on the mound for Hayes, but Larks won't see a ton of him on the mound likely. 1-0 is the count to Koenig, the right fielder. Larks got an inning-ending double play in the 4th inning and are looking to do the same here. The 1-0 grounded right over first base. A diving effort from Brown. Not in time, and it'll be a 1-out double. And back-to-back hits. And 2 straight doubles for Koenig. Put 2 on with 1 out, both in scoring position. Iwata at third, Koenig at second with 1 away. Defensively for Hayes, after making a couple changes in the last inning, it's Pearson in left field, Jeminian in center, and Schmidt in right field. It's a day for Zach Henry. Hutchison, the new third baseman, with Cord Jackson at shortstop, Long at second, Brown at first, and Loomis behind the plate. Henry comes out, Pearson moves to left field, and Hutchison plays third base now. He's been a solid third baseman defensively for the Larks this year. Pearson played all over the field last year and has now made appearances at third base, second base, first base, and now left field for the Larks this year. Did catch 1 inning last year. We'll see if the Larks want to do that again. They have 3 catchers on the roster in Crowell, Loomis, and Evans. Crowell out with an injury right now, and Evans getting the night off. 0-1 to Aiden Smith, who walked in the 5th in his first plate appearance. 0-2 on the new second baseman. Riggs, for his 2021 freshman season at DC3, 0-1 through 13 appearances, struck out 15 and walked 17. Had 1 start and 12 appearances in relief, 6.27 ERA. 0-2, we'll see the counts. Riggs goes home. The 5-run lead, it bounces off the turf, 1-2. Been a long first 5 innings, and now the long top of the 6th. Loomis gives Riggs the signs, and Trey will go home. Off speed, hangs in the air, and grounds into foul territory. Luke Terbeek will bring the umpires some new baseballs, and we'll go 1-2 to Smith again. And time will be called by Smith after a long gap between pitches. Riggs looks home. The 1-2 swung on and grounded to him. And they'll have a pickle. And the throw to first base might have been a mistake. I think Trey should have focused on that runner at third as he broke home. And Koenig went to third, so no opportunity for Iwata to go home without getting thrown out. And Riggs decided to go to first. And Smith is going to ground out but pick up his first RBI of the day. And scoring for the third time is Iwata. Koenig moves to third, and there's 2 away. Just a 4-run game, and the Cougars have scored 6 unanswered. They always tell you in Little League, know where you're going to go when the ball comes to you, and I think Trey was just a little baffled by the runner starting to break home. Grantling again shifts to the right side, to my right side of second base big time, halfway between first and second against Will Brazel. Brazel in the day, 1 for 3, singled against Corey Bright in the second, struck out against Bright in the third and fifth. And Riggs behind another hitter, 3-0. And we'll have a 4-pitch walk, the second of the inning. And Keith Harper points to the bullpen, and we'll go out and have a talk with Trey Riggs, and we'll take a break. Carson Trumpold will lead off, or excuse me, not lead off, will be the new hitter against Max Castellucci, the new pitcher into the game for the Larks. First delivery from Castellucci misses low, 1-0. This is Castellucci's first appearance since a 5-run outing against the Colorado Sox. Appearance number 3 on the year. Replaced Luke Terbeek. Larks had a 8-3 lead, and they ended up losing the game 9-8 against the Colorado Sox. Max has thrown 2 2/3 innings, no decisions, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 6 walks on the mound. 1-1 to Trumpold, who is 1 for 3 on the day. This one's hit to right center field. Jiminian chases it and will make the catch. And Castellucci gets us out to the top of the 6th, and we go to the bottom half. Hayes up 8-12. Leo Jiminian will lead off the bottom of the 6th for Hayes. 0 for 3 of the day, just one of the 2 Lark starters to not get a hit. Looking to change that here. New pitcher of the game is Landon Anderson. In the first pitch, he gets Jiminian to hit to the Larks dugout high and flying. Trumpold and Yoshimura can't get to it. 0-1 count to the French center fielder.
Thanks for your assistance.
0-1 count on Leo Jiminian. For Landon Anderson, this is his 5th appearance on the season. Has played in 5 games hitting. Against the Larks this year, hitting 1 for 9 with a single, 1 RBI. But on the mound, appearance number 5, all in relief. No wins or losses, 4 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts, has hit 5 batters. The sidearm delivery. Pitcher has a ERA of 2.842 and a whip of 1.421. 0-2 to Geminian. Righty versus righty. Sidearm delivery. Hangs in the air and Geminian swings under it. He's 0 for 4. 3 pop-ups and a strikeout, and there's 1 away in the bottom of the 6th.
The first baseman, Cade Brown.
They'll bring up Cade Brown, 1 for 2 on the day with a strikeout, a single, a walk, and a run scored. His first look at Anderson of the season. He digs into the right-hander's batter's box. Larks have a 4-run lead. Larks' heavy right-handed lineup, but some of the guys do hit left-handed, including Grant Long, Wyatt Divis, and Cord Jackson. And Zach Henry was also one of the guys who throws right-handed but hits left-handed, but he's been replaced by Palmer Hutchison in this game. 1-0 to Brown becomes 1-1. Larks now making good contact against Anderson here in the bottom of the 6th, and scoreboard on the stream has gone down. Way outside on this delivery. 1-1 becomes 2-1. Our scoreboard back, and Anderson trying to get out number 2. Bottom of the 6th. 1 away, base is empty. Brown waits on this one and sends it foul. 2-2. Larks scored 6 in the first, 1 in the second, and then 3 in the 5th. All 12 runs scored in the first 3 innings. The Cougars have scored 6 unanswered, 3 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. They've cut the lead to 4 after the Larks looked like they were going to run roll the Cougars. Full count on Brown. Larks trying not to do what, or try not to be in the situation the Saints were in against the Larks. Larks were down 10 early, just like the Cougars were today, and then they came back and won 18-16 in 12 innings. Anderson doesn't get the call he likes on the payoff pitch, and he puts Cade Brown aboard for this 3rd time today. Brown now aboard 3 times today against 4 different pitchers. And that's the 2nd walk of the day for Brown. And Cade has now walked 4 times on the season and 21 plate appearances. Runner at first with nobody, or 1 out for Cord Jackson, swings above this delivery, 0-1. Jackson on the day, 1 for 2 with a ground out to walk and a single, has scored 2 runs and has driven in 1 run. Yesterday's ball game, he scored 3 of the Larks' 9 runs in a 9-3 victory. Anderson goes sidearm again, does catch the zone, 0-2. Loomis on deck with Hutchison in the hole for Hayes. Check over at Brown, not in time. The Larks were just hitting the ball well early off of Jeremiah Scott. Palacios came in, and some errors really rattled him. He came out of the game. They brought in Jason Simpson, who looked good for 3 innings, no earned runs, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts. And then they bring in Anderson for the 6th. And he will strike out Cord Jackson. Strikeout number 10 for Anderson on the season. 2 away for Brock Loomis with the runner on first. Loomis on the day, singled in the 4th, reached on an error in the 3rd, and had a 2-run home run back in the 1st inning. Scott had 6 earned runs on the mound. Palacios had 5 earned runs. And the Larks looking to add some more runs onto their lead here. Scoreless in the past 3, scoreless since the 3rd inning. Loomis fouls this one off, 0-1 to the catcher from Bucco. Last year, the Larks Brock appeared in 3 different games very late in the season. Made 3 at-bats, 4 plate appearances. All 4 went down as quality at-bats as he walked to get aboard for the only time he did last year. Has been aboard 3 times alone in this game and has a 1-1 count against Anderson. This one's hit to left center field. Moving back is Esquivel. He can't make the play. Brock Loomis is going to get an RBI double. Cade Brown goes first to third, and Loomis almost had his 2nd home run of the day. And he continues his hot streak in his lone start of this series. And a great day for Loomis. Picks up RBI number 3 on the day, and Cade Brown scores for the 2nd time today. And the Larks now lead 13-8. That'll bring up Palmer Hutchison to the dish. And now Loomis is just a triple shy of the cycle. For Brock Loomis, that was RBI number 7 on the season. And for Cade Brown, that was run scored number 7. Palmer Hutchison to the dish. This is his first at-bat of the ball game, replacing Zach Henry. 1-0 on Hutchison. Henry finishes his day 0 for 1 with a double play, a hit by pitch, an RBI, a walk, and a run scored. 1-1 to the third baseman out of KCK. Anderson doesn't like the sign, steps off the rubber, steps back on. No courtesy runner for Loomis at second, as Hutchison was his courtesy runner. And the 1-1 curveball hangs in the air. Drops low, and Hutchison fouls it off.
When you bring it back to the Larks stats, courtesy of the Hayes Police Department.
The 1-2 home. Inside, it's going to hit Palmer Hutchison on his elbow guard. 6th hit by pitch for Anderson of the season. That's been a problem for him. Anderson has hit 6 batters through 7 innings. And that's the 2nd time that the 9th hitter in the lineup has been plunked. Hutchison at first, Loomis at second. For the top of the order, Grant Lung, who's having a great day. 2 for 4 with 2 flyouts, a single, and a grand slam. 4 runs driven in, 2 runs scored for the second baseman from the University of Sioux Falls. 5-run lead for Hayes. Looking to add to it here. Runner in scoring position is Loomis. Throw home to Long. Hits it to right field. Could it be number 2? It's going to drop short of the wall, but is it going to drop? It does drop, and it's going to be in foul territory according to the home plate umpire. I couldn't tell from here. Diving for was Koenig. He couldn't make the play on it. I couldn't tell if it dropped in fair or foul territory. If it dropped fair with 2 outs, everybody was running. It would have scored 2 and gotten Grant Long 2 RBIs and put his total to 6. So we'll go to 0-1. Indicates that he was a little early on that one. And we'll have an 0-1 count. Anderson looks at Loomis. Looks at Long, goes home. Gets a swing and a miss out of Long. Do it for the Cougars in the 7th inning. After the stand-up to cancer ceremony, it will be Esquivel, Yoshimura, and Schmey. The 0-2 inside, 1-2 on Long. Two and a half hours into this ball game, still not 2/3 of the way through it. Anderson looks at Loomis, sidearm delivery home, slider outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Long jumped his slugging percentage up earlier in this game, came in slugging .333, and jumps it up after a grand slam and a single. Single doesn't do much for it, but a grand slam is the best thing you can do for your slugging percentage. Grounds just went over the right side and foul, stays alive with 2 strikes on him. Larks fans, be sure to subscribe on YouTube if you're signed in and watching the game. Larks fans and non-Larks fans alike. We put these broadcasts out free of charge, but subscribing really helps us out, helps us reach a broader audience. This one is fouled back, 2-2 again. And once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll be able to stream the games from our website through YouTube, so you can see everything on the Larks website and watch the games on there. But that'll go a big way into helping us. So tell a friend if you watch the game, subscribe, share the Larks YouTube page, and let's get there. 2-2 again to the long, working a great at-bat here. This one misses outside, 3-2. Long and patient hitter, been aboard 2 times today and looking to get there for the 3rd time and bring home a run. Anderson looks in, gets the sign from Trumpold, and he'll go for a payoff pitch against Long. Not before turning around and sending Loomis back to second, no throw. Big shit for Smith at second base, far away from the second base bag. And the payoff pitch to Long, and a change up that he read home and swung under. And that will be the first strikeout of the day for Grant Long. 3rd strikeout of the inning for Anderson. Struck out all 3 outs. Allows 1 run, and we will go to the 7th inning from Larks Park.
To honor our families. Stand Up to Cancer as a show of support for cancer victims, survivors, and loved ones everywhere.
Top of the 7th we go after an emotional moment at Larks Park. 1-0 is the count to the leadoff hitter, Nicholas Esquivel. Larks get 1 run in the last inning after 3 from Denver. They lead 18-13 here in the top of the 7th. 1-1 is the count to Esquivel. Castellucci on the mound, retired the last out of the 6th inning. The only batter he faced was Carson Trumpold. Castellucci from the windup, fastball below the knees. Three and one again. Troubles with our scoreboard on the stream. And it'll be a 5-pitch walk for Esquivel, the second time he's walked today. And there's a leadoff runner at first. They'll take us to the top of the order, Yoshimura. On the day, Yoshimura 1 for 3 with a single, a walk, and a run scored. That run scored was the first of 3 in the 6th inning. It was off the 2-run home run from Schmay. Late on this swing, sends it into foul territory, 0-1. Runner on first, nobody out in the top of the 7th. This one's ground to Grant Lung, runs forward and decides the easy play is at first, and it is the correct move for the second baseman. Well hustled play for Grant Lung, saves a base hit. Runner in scoring position, 1 away. We go to the second batter in the lineup, Gavin Schmay. Schmay on the day, 1 for 3, walked in the first, flew out in the 9th, and then had a double play to end the 4th inning. All appearances against Corey Bright. All 3 of those against Corey Bright, and then faces Trey Riggs in the 6th and hits a 2-run home run off of him. Batters 1 through 6 in the Cougars lineup have each scored 1 run. One and one. That walk in this inning was the 7th of Castellucci's season. 1-1 home, fastball outside, 2-1. Castellucci threw strikes on under 50% of his pitches coming into this ball game. Started out 6 of the 17 batters he faced with first pitch strikes. But when he did, he got 80% of those batters out when he started them out with a first pitch strike. Never allowed a walk with a first pitch strike this season. Started out 2 innings against the Colorado Sox, his 2 innings of pitching with the leadoff walk. He just started struggling with his command, and the Sox were able to take advantage of that. He's looking much better in this game, and will throw a payoff pitch to Gavin Schmay. Three balls, 2 strikes, runner at second, 1 away in the top of the 7th. The payoff pitch home, sent back in over the grandstand. It's Duhan on deck with the Wada in the hole for the Denver Cougars. And this is game 3 of a 3-game series against Denver. Hayes already has decided the outcome, winning the first 2 games. They will be off tomorrow and have a 2-game series against the Collegians. Second payoff pitch home, off speed, drop slow, and he's walked his second batter of the inning. There's a few guys out in the pen for Hayes, none of them throwing. Schmay at first, Esquivel at second with 1 away. Cougars so far have batted 1 through 9 in order after yesterday. Not sure what happened, but they just started late in the game, skipping 2 batters at a time. First delivery, a slider from Castellucci, misses low, 1-0. Castellucci, 6-foot freshman from Mission College in California. This one's hit to center field. Jiminian gets under it. Runner tags from third, and the throw will be cut off by Jackson and no relay. Good duel between Duhan and Castellucci right there. For Castellucci, got his second out of the inning and is one away from sending us to the 7th inning stretch.
Designated hitter. Correction, the right fielder, number 11, Braden Koenig.
I'll bring up
Correction, please. The batter is the designated hitter, number 14, Kane Iwata.
Kane Iwata, the DH. Batting cleanup. 2 for 3 in the day with a hit by pitch, a single, and the third and a single in the 6th has scored 3 of the Cougars' 8 runs and has a first pitch strike from Castellucci. Castellucci from Napa, California. This year, Mission did not record any stats, but in his 2020 freshman year, made 4 appearances, went 1-0 through 6 2/3 innings in that shortened COVID season. Castellucci breaks home on a foul ball, 0-2. Due for the Larks after the 7th inning stretch from Hayes, Kansas will be Pearson, Divis, and Schmidt. The 0-2 from Castellucci. Curveball above the letters. A pitch to waste. 1-2. Castellucci could return to Mission College if he chooses to do so. 1-2. Fastball outside. 2-2. And Castellucci's senior year of high school made 8 appearances. Went 1-2. Faced 111 batters and had an opponent batting average of 167. Struck out 39 and allowed just 12 hits. 2-2 doesn't get the call, and Loomis and Castellucci and all the Larks fans thought they had it. Almost 10 o'clock, and we're not even through the top of the 7th inning, and Hayes. It's been a long ball game, and when you don't get calls like that, it just keeps the game going. Keeps Castellucci on the mound, the payoff pitch, an important one, and he plunks Iwata in the chest. That's a tough one to take. Didn't read it until it was too late, and man, that was going to be a big run right there for Castellucci. After having his inning continue, thought he had it over. It was going to come down to how he commanded his pitch. Had struggled with command earlier in this game, and struggled right there and hits a batter. And it appears Iwata's okay, and we're very thankful for that. Schmade is second, Esquivel at third, Iwata at first. That'll bring us to the 5-hole Braden Canning, but not before a mound visit from Keith Harper. Hunter Parker, the new pitcher, into the game, inherits the bases loaded and 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Swing and a miss. The ball will bounce off of Loomis's face mask. It is a pass ball when a run scores. One won't count against Parker. And it's an 0-1 counts. Parker, great first outing against the Roughnecks. Got the starts, went 3 innings, allowed just 2, struck out 5, and then against the Saints just didn't look like himself. 2 1/3 innings, 9 earned runs, 9 hits, 5 strikeouts. But was a team player, stayed with the team, got them fired up before he took an ejection for the team. And the Larks came back and won 18-16. And Hunter Parker gets us out of a jam, leaves 2 on, and gives us a 4-run lead as we go to the 7th inning stretch. Bottom of the 7th, we go from Hayes, Kansas. Cam Pearson will lead off the half inning for the Larks. Pearson the day, home run, a double in his first 2 at-bats, walked in the 3rd and then lined out in the 5th inning. 1-1 to the new left fielder. Started the game at third base and got moved to left field, replaced Zach Henry in the 5th. Sends this one to left field. It's going to drop a foot into foul territory, roll all the way to the corner, and it's going to be the second double of the day for Cam Pearson. Third extra base hit of the day for Cam, and he's having a great season. And for number 17, that is extra base hits. Or excuse me, for number 17, that is hit number 17 of the season and extra base hits. Number 5. 3 doubles now, 2 of those tonight, 1 triple, 1 home run. That home run was also tonight. That brings us to Wyatt Davis, 2 for 4 on the day with a triple, a single, and a run scored. Cougars have scored in 3 straight innings. They're down by just 4. 9-13 ball game. A 1-0 to Davis. Anderson still the side armor on the mound. 1-1. Slider caught the zone. Pearson gets his lead at second. Anderson gets set, takes a look at Cam. A long one goes home. It's delivered to Davis. Late on the swing, sends it to left field. And Yoshimura is not going to get to it, and it drops in foul territory. 1-2 to Divis. Anderson returns for this inning. Has thrown one full inning and is the fourth pitcher that the Cougars have pitched today. Larks have also thrown 4. This one from the 3/4 and not sidearm spots. And it's a 2-2 count for Wyatt Divis. The 2's delivery home. Inside, Divis pulls it out of play. Not pulls it, pulled his hands in and sent it off his bat. Opposite field out of play. Schmidt on deck with Jemanian in the hole for your Larks. Divis done at UTA. Spent 3 years with the Mavericks out of the Sun Belt Conference in D1 baseball. And cranks one to right field here, no doubter. Larks get their 3rd home run of the game. High fives his buddy Max McGuire first base and puts the Larks up 15-9. So if our scoreboard was up right now, we'd put the home run graphic on. But for Wyatt Divis, that is his 3rd hit of the day. He's just a double short of the cycle, and he picks up his 1st and 2nd RBIs of the day and scores his 2nd run. And there we go, home run for Divis. And just when the scoreboard started working again, we lost it.
The right fielder.
For Wyatt Divis, that was home run number 2 of the season. Picked up RBIs number 7 and 8 and scored run number 9. Brought home Cam Pearson for Cam Pearson's team-leading 13th run scored. Excuse me, he's behind Cord Jackson. Still nobody out. Larks retaliate after a 1-run top of the 7th inning. Pearson just scored for the 3rd time today. That was actually Cam's 15th run scored. He's actually tied with Cord Jackson for 15 runs scored. Whoever does the stats for the Larks, there's 2 guys down the dugout that have been there talking all day. They don't update it on Game Changer. 2-1 to Grant Schmidt, fouled back. We'll go 2-2.
We'll take your help and bring in the foul ball back to the Larks Nest. Give you $1, courtesy of the Hayes Police Department.
Schmidt on the day, 2 for 4 with a single and a double. 1 run scored and 1 run driven in. This one's hit at Schmay hard at the shortstop spot, and making a nice dig at first base is Brazel, and there's 1 away in the bottom of the 7th inning. That'll bring up Leo Jiminy, and Leo, the lone Lark of the 10 hitters they brought to the plates over the course of the game, to not get on base. Zach Henry got on base 2 times and was replaced by Palmer Hutchison, and then Hutch was hit by a pitch in the 6th. 1 through 9 in the order have scored with the exception of Jiminian, who's had a great season so far today, has just not looked like the normal Leo Jiminian we're used to. But this one he hits hard to left field. Getting a read under it is Esquivel, and that's a well-hit ball that you can't blame Jiminian for, and there's 2 away. He's now 0 for 5. That brings up Cade Brown, who's 1 for 2 on the day with 2 walks, a single, and 2 runs scored. Due up in the 8th inning for Denver will be Smith, Brazel, and Trumpold down to their final 6 outs. Since Brown has been back, Cam Pearson has been relieved of his need at first base, and he's been able to see other parts of the field, and Brown's been a solid first baseman for Hayes. Two-way, this delivery to Brown starts at him and moves inside, and he fouls it off, pulling it into the Larks bullpen, 0-1. There's something you love to see down the dugout. Wyatt Davis, who we talked with Matt Cavanaugh on Friday's game about how good of a team player he is. Now he's, we think he could have a coaching career in front of him, giving tips to a pitcher in the dugout. It's either Jackson Blue or Max Castellucci, but either way, he's standing by him and showing him follow-throughs and giving him tips. Great sight to see from your veteran. 1-1 on Brown. Grounds this one to the Larks dugout. We'll see Hunter Parker return for the 8th inning likely, but there is somebody up in the pen for Hayes. It's a lefty, and I believe it's Trevor Munch. The 1-2 to Brown, outside, 2-2. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Hayes up by 6 against Denver. Anderson looks in at Trumple. Trumple gives him the signs. And the 2's delivery inside, close to the shins of Brown. Will have a full count to the first baseman from the OU. I think maybe we'll see Munch in the 9th. I don't know why you take Hunter Parker out in this situation. Unless you want to save him for Tuesday, Wednesday, make sure he's really fresh. But Cade Brown will rope a ball to left field, and it's a base hit for Cade, his 2nd hit of the day, and the 4th time he's been aboard in 5 plate appearances. Great day for the Sooner. Just worked a great AB with 2 outs on him and 2 strikes on him. Got the pitch he wanted and made great contact with the ball, and it dropped in front of Esquivel. That'll bring us to Cord Jackson. 1 for 3 on the day with a walk, a single, 1 RBI, and 2 runs scored. One away, Brown gets his lead at first, and the throw home to Jackson inside, 2-0 on the shortstop. Jackson has played shortstop in all of his appearances fielding this season. We've seen him courtesy run before, but we'll see if the Larks want to play him a little bit at second base once Matt Cavanaugh is fully healthy and get him some more experience at other positions. But this right here is going to be an extra base hit. It could score. Brown. Frank Leo's going to wave him home. Duhan struggles with his grip in center field. The throw is going to be cut off by Smith. Jackson is going to have a triple. Ball goes to Larks' dugout, but he was already down on the slide. And it's ruled a full triple for Cord Jackson. And he brings home Cade Brown from first. Brown scores for the 3rd time today. And Cord Jackson picks up his 2nd RBI. Brown has now scored in the 1st, 3rd, and 7th innings, and the Larks have scored 3 here. And we're going to get Mark Cerullo out of the dugouts for the Cougars. 16-9 ball game here from Hays, Kansas. Runner on 3rd with 2 outs. For Cade Brown, that is run scored, number 8 on the season. And for Cord Jackson, that is RBI number 10. And Anderson will look to bounce back in his next appearance. Looked good early, but in the 7th inning, the Larks have hit off of him. And we'll get a new pitcher into the game for Denver and be back after the break.
to the Larks Network.
Core Jackson at third. Brock Loomis to the dish with 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. Hayes up 16-9. New pitcher in the game is the former first baseman Will Brazel. Taking over the duties at first base for Denver is Carter Pennington, who played in games 1 and 2 of this series. Loomis fouls this one off, 1-1. Loomis on the day, home run in the first. It was a 2-run shot, reached on an error in the third, singled in the fourth, and then doubled in the sixth. Is just a triple shy of the cycle, and Core Jackson just tripled right before him to get himself at third and bring home the 16th run of the ball game. 1-2 on Loomis. Loomis has scored 2 times and driven in 3 runs here in this ball game. Will Brazel is making appearance number 6 of the season on the mound. Pitched on Friday, went 1 1/3, and struck out 1 and had 3 earned runs. Comes in this game with an ERA of 5.586 and will strike out Brock Loomis. That's strikeout number 6 on the season for Brazel, and it ends the 7th inning. We move to the 8th. Hayes up by 7 from Hayes, Kansas.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Hunter Parker all smiles on the mound as we get ready to go to the top of the 8th. Leading off is Aiden Smith, the second baseman. Smith on the day walked in the 5th and then grounded out in the 4th after replacing DeMarquez Ortega. 1-0 on the second baseman. Trevor Munch was warming up in the mound. Maybe we'll see him in the 9th, but this is Hunter Parker's inning right now. 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1. Parker, a 6'1" redshirt junior at Fort Hays State University, originally from Aurora, Colorado. 2-1 misses here. This year at Fort Hays State, got 4 wins, 3 losses through 12 appearances. Struck out 51. Before that, he spent 2 years at Western Nebraska Community College. Should have added he redshirted in 2021 for Fort Hays, but his 2 years at Western Nebraska got a Region 9 All-Star Region 9 All-Star accolade in 2018, and then 2019 was an Omaha World Herald All-Nebraska JUCO honorable mention team. His career there made 22 appearances, struck out 101 batters, and got 14 strikes through 14 games started through 85 and a third innings pitched. He walks a leadoff guy here in the 8th inning, and the Larks still comfortable with the Cougars down to their final 6 outs. For Hunter Parker, that is walk allowed, just number 3 on the year through 5 2/3. A lot of walks today in this ball game for both teams. The Cougars have walked 5 times, and Hayes has walked 5 times. 17 hits for Hayes, 11 for Denver. 2 errors for the Cougars, none for your Larks. 1 ball and a strike on Brazel, who played first base and is now pitching. The 1-1 home above the letters, high at the chin level over the plates, 2-1. It's been a long game, long time between innings for the pitchers on the mound. Corey Bright had a lot of time between innings, and Hunter Parker just took a lot of time between pitches thrown. Only faced 1 batter in the 8th, but came in, did his job, and got the flyout with the bases loaded. And then comes in for this, that was in the 7th, comes in for this 8th inning. Struggling with my words here. It's been a long day. It's been almost a 3.5-hour ball game. The 2-2 home at the knees, and Hunter Parker gets the call, strikes out his 11th batter of the season. Brazel now 1 for 4 with 3 Ks and 1 single. He now has the hat trick in the last game of this series. It'll bring up Carson Trumpold, 1 for 4 on the day with a double. A ground out to Corey Bright, a pop-up to Corey Bright, and a flyout to Leo Jominian. 1-0, 1 away. Still a strong wind moving from left to right across the field from the angle we're looking. For Hunter Parker, it's moving from right to left. 1-1 is the count on Trumpold. The wind hasn't had a ton of effect on the distance balls are hit into the outfield, but has changed the trajectory a little bit. Seen a lot of home runs this series. And this game alone, we've seen home runs from Grant Lung, Wyatt Divis, Cam Harrison, and Brock Loomis for Hayes, and then Gavin Schmay for the Cougars. Fastball above the letters, hitter's count for the catcher. On deck is Esquivel with Yoshimura in the hole. Parker looks in a 3-1 delivery outside. And maybe our scoreboard was wrong. I think the home plate or the base paths umpire, he gave Smith second base. Maybe they thought that was a ball, or he must have called a balk on Parker. The other radio guy up here in the booth was also confused, and our PA announcer was also confused on what just happened. Either way, there's a runner at second with 1 out, and Parker looks to end this inning. 2 outs to go to do that, though. We'll get a payoff pitch to Trumpold, and he is down on strikes. Back-to-back punch-outs for Hunter Parker on the mound. Has now struck out 12 on the season.
The left fielder, number 22, Nicholas Escobar.
Esquivel to the dish now. 0 for 2 with 2 walks. And a flyout and a ground out. Silvery outside. Loomis blocks it. And Esquivel gives the signs to Smith to stay at second base. Do it for the Larks in the bottom of the 8th, trying to extend their lead will be Hutchison, the 9-hole, and we'll go to the top of the order, Lung and Pearson. I love the way Parker goes from his windup and stretch, the way he offsets his front foot like that, and it works for him here in the 8th. 2 straight strikeouts, now a ground out after a leadoff base runner sends us to the bottom of the 8th. Hayes up 16-9 from Larks Network. Bottom of the 8th, leading off is Palmer Hutchison. Hutch on the day, 0 for 0. Came in for Zach Henry in the 5th and then was hit by a pitch in the 6th. First delivery to Hutchison from Brazel, misses the zone, 1-0. See if the Larks want to bring in anybody for the 9th. Hunter Parker's in the groove, but there is still a southpaw warming up in the bullpen. Could just be somebody throwing pen. Could be somebody warming up. 1-1 on Hutchison. Brazel is southpaw. Looks in. Hits his signs from Trumpold and goes home. Swung on and missed. Hutchison really wanted that one. Took a hard cut. Can't make contact. 1-2. Will Brazel graduated high school in 2018. Committed to play at New Mexico, where Larks had a pitcher from 2 years ago, and Drew Marufo. Was given a perfect game grade of 9. Was a 3rd-ranked left-handed pitcher coming out of Colorado, and now is at Scottsdale Community College, where he made 6 appearances on the mound, started 3 games, went 1-1 with 11 and a thirds innings pitched. And that was last year's stats. JUCO websites, and at least in my experience, are weird with the way they take you to the stats. You never know which year you're going to get taken to. They don't let you see a career at one look. One away as Hutchison goes down on strikes. Second straight batter, Brazel has going to go down on strikes, going back to Brock Loomis in the 8th. 1-1 to Grant Lung, bases empty in the bottom of the 8th. Hayes up 16-9. So after going to Scottsdale Community College, Will Brazel goes to Pima Community College, where the Larks have had a few pitchers from over the years, and Carlos Tavera, Christian Percy, and Tommy Garcia, as Grant Lung is down here in the 8th. And we go to Cam Pearson. For the Aztecs at at Pima, as the Cochise left fielder comes to the plate. At Pima, Brazel made 2 appearances and struck out 1 through 1 1/3 innings in a 6.75 ERA. Delivered to Pearson, swung on a miss, 1-1. So Brazel had D1 offers coming out of high school and is looked good at JUCO and is looking good in this game, but still has an ERA above 5 in Summer League in 2021. The 1-1 to Pearson, slider outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Cam Pearson on the day, 2 doubles, a home run, 3 runs scored, and 2 runs driven in. 2-1 from Brazel, grounded up the middle, and it's the 4th hit of the day for Cam Pearson, and he will finish his day a triple short of the cycle, just like Brock Loomis. Larks hit the cycle in the last inning. Pearson doubled, Davis homered, Brown singled, and Jackson tripled. It's a 2-out single for Pearson, and that'll bring Wyatt Davis to the dish. Davis, a double shy of the cycle. Larks have a lot of guys on cycle alerts tonight. He could do it right here. He's tripled in the 1st, singled in the 5th, and had a home run in the 7th. Brazel looks in, goes home to Davis. Off speed outside, 1-0. He certainly doesn't want to give Davis the cycle here as it would score Pearson. Make it a 17-9 ball game. Larks will up by 7 with 2 away in the bottom of the 8th. Quick snap throw to first base, and Pennington catches the ball but doesn't tag Pearson. Cam's in safely, 1-0. Pearson likes to move around along the base paths. Does there, and it's a 2-0 count to Davis now. Davis absolutely cranked one in his last at-bat. Take it way over the scoreboard in right field. This one above his head. He dunks out of the way, 3-0. Just no command on the slider on that delivery. And we've got a righty in the pen for Hayes. Munch in the dugout with the glove on his right hand. We'll see if they want to bring Hunter Parker or if Trevor Munch would just throw in pen. Davis is taken all the way with a 3-0 count, and now has a 3-1 count. Pearson at first with 2 away. And And Brazel doesn't want to give Divis something good to hit here. The 3-1 home. He does give him something to hit. It's a single for Divis. And Pearson goes to second. And ultimately, Wyatt Divis will be a double short of the cycle, but has 2 singles, a triple, and a home run. Back-to-back base hits with 2 outs. In the 8th for Hayes, put 2 on. That'll bring up Grant Schmidt. Schmidt on the day doubled in his first at-bat and then singled in his third at-bat. Since then is 0 for 2. He scored 1 run and driven in a run. Jiminian on deck with Brown in the hole should the Larks need them. Schmidt would be the game-ending run and would be a run roll if he could score here. Way outside the slider, not hitting in for Brazel in this 8th inning. Nobody holding the runners on late in this game. Schmidt pulls this one, chopped into foul territory. 1-0-1. Hate to be repetitive, but again, over 2/3 of our viewers on Larks Network are unsubscribed on YouTube. It's free to have a Google account, and if you have one, hitting the subscribe button on YouTube if you're signed in won't get you any emails, no spam, anything from us, no text, calls, nothing. All we'll do is help us out and help us reach a broader audience and allow us to do more things on the broadcast and put our broadcast in more places. So tell a friend, help support the cause, and get Larks Baseball global. 2-1 on Schmidt. 2 outs, 2 on, bottom of the 8th. Hayes up 16-9. This one will get away from Trumbold. And runners both advanced 90 feet. Hitters count for Grant Schmidt. Larks got 6 runs in the first inning, 1 in the second, 5 in the third. Silent all the way until the 6th inning. Got 1 there and then scored 3 in the 7th. Haven't scored here in the 8th, but they have 2 in scoring position. Pearson at third, Divis at second. Pearson talking with his third base coach, Frank Leo. The 3-1 delivery from Brazel. Grounded hard over to the left side. They don't want to give Schmidt something good to hit. I know I say that a lot, but the Larks have a dangerous lineup, and they take advantage of balls left up in the zone. Brazel shakes off the first sign from Trumpold, nods at the second one, and we'll get a payoff pitch to Schmidt. 3-2 delivery, misses low, and Schmidt is aboard for the 3rd time today. 3 straight base runners. Hutchison struck out to start this half inning. Lung popped out, and then Pearson singled, Divis singled, and now Schmidt has walked. The bases are loaded for Leo Jiminian, and Mark Cirillo comes out of the dugout for the Cougars, and that's just going to keep the game going. And we'll take a pause and be back on Larks Network. Leo Jiminian, bases loaded. The first pitch he sees, he grounds to Yoshimura off of Jake Tillberger. One pitch for Tillberger. He will end the 8th inning, and Jiminian back to the dugouts. 0 for 6. A day he'll want to forget, but very talented player. We expect him to bounce back Tuesday. We go to the 9th. Hayes up, 16-9 on Larks Network.
Meet me down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait.
Top of the 9th from Larks Network at Larks Park. Trevor Munch wants a new sign from Brock Loomis, and he has a 0-1 count to the top of the order. Yuki Yoshimura, the 0-1 to Yoshimura. Yoshimura misses the zone, 1 ball and a strike. On the day, the third baseman 1 for 4 with a walk and a run scored and a single. The 1-1 from Munch outside. Munch will replace Hunter Parker. Munch comes in this game making appearance number 3, his second straight in relief. Started his first game of the season against the Sox on Sunday, June 13th, in a game that Jose Velasquez came in and pitched 6 innings in relief to get the win. This one's popped up. Munch is going to chase it, makes his sliding effort, but can't make the play. And he'll have a laugh about that one with his teammates who give him some cheers from the dugouts. Good hustle from the southpaw out of Lawrence, Kansas. He'll be back to the mound. Munch has pitched at Oklahoma and Wichita State and will be headed to a different university for the 2022 season. Munch has struck out 5 this season, walked 2, had 5 hits allowed, has an ERA of 4.5 through 4 innings. So it's a day for Hunter Parker. Hunter was the 4th pitcher of the game for Hayes. Throws 1 1/3 and got us out of a bases-loaded jam. Strikes out 2, walks 1, no hits allowed. Good bounce-back performance after going up against the Saints last Monday. Full count to Yoshimura. Southpaw goes home and is going to punch out him, and that is not a call Yoshimura will agree on. Second time he's gone down on strikes today, and there is 1 away in the top of the 9th. Nice pitch from Munch. Ooh. Munch Second tallest guy on the roster, along with Cade Brown, stands at 6'4". Has 1 year of eligibility left. The 1-0 to Gavin Schmay. 1-1. One away, top of the ninth. Base is empty. Schmay on the day, 2 walks, a double play, and a home run. It was a 2-run shot back in the 6th inning, and a 3-run sixth for Denver. Missing the zone here is Munch, 2-1. That strikeout for Munch was number 6 on the season through 4 1/3. Gets set and goes home. This delivery grounded to Grant Lung, runs in, fields it, and throws to Cade Brown. 2 up, 2 down in the ninth for the Cougars, down to their final outs. They'd have to perform a miracle to not get swept here. Crowd starts to chant. The Larks looking to end the game here. 2-way to Braden Duhan. Duhan on the day, 1 for 5 with a single and a run scored. Munch misses the zone here. 1-0. Base is empty. 2 outs in the 9th inning. See Munch gets set, goes home. The 1-0 line out of play. Munch has started one of the 2 batters, one of the first 2 batters he's faced with the first pitch strike. Didn't start out with one here, but now has a 1-2 count, and the Cougars are down to their final strike of the day. Munch, a strike thrower. Those strikes on over 60% of his pitches. The 1-2 home from Munch. Breaking ball misses just outside. Can't paint the corner. And it was a great pitch to end the game on. Doesn't get the call. 2-2. So do it all over again. The 2-2 grounded into the Cougars' dugouts. Larks winning here will put them a full game up above the Fort Collins Foxes in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League, a league they won pretty easily last year. Munch shakes off the sign from Loomis. Deep breath for Munch. Goes home. Slider will punch out. Braden Duhan, this second strikeout of the inning for Trevor Munch, and that will end the ball game from Hayes, Kansas. Hayes wins it 16-9 on Stand Up to Cancer night. Munch throws strikeouts on the season, number 6 and 7 in the 9th inning, and Hayes wins it 16-9. Winning pitcher in this game is Trey Riggs for the Larks. Picks up his first win of the season. He's 1-1. Hayes Larks now are 10-1 on the year. They're on a 6-game winning streak. They're 6-1 in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. A full game up in first place. The Cougars fall to 3-11. They're on a 3-game losing streak after getting swept by the Larks. They're 1-6 in Rocky Mountain Baseball League play. They're 5 games back, and they've lost 6 of their last 7 games on the year. Larks will be off tomorrow night, but we will play the Collegians on Tuesday. Game 1 of a 2-game series against the Collegians. First pitch at 7 p.m. You can catch it right here on Larks Network. Again, picking up his first one of the season is Trey Riggs. Corey Bright gets the start, goes 4 2/3 innings, gets 5 earned runs, strikes out 3. Riggs comes in, 3 earned runs, and then Castellucci throws an inning, no earned runs for him. Hunter Parker comes in, no earned runs from him either, strikes out 2. Throws a 1 1/3 inning. Munch comes in for the 9th, strikes out 2, and gets a ground out on 1. Cougars throw 6 pitches. Jeremiah Scott will record the loss. Goes 2/3 of an inning in the start and allows 6 earned runs. Larks got runs in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and 7th. Cougars got their 9 runs in the 3rd, 5th, and 6th, and 7th. Hayes finishes with 19 hits. Denver finishes with 11. Larks leave 9 on base, score 16 runs, walk 5 times, and get 19 hits. Denver gets 11 hits, walks 8 times, can score 9 runs, and leave 13 runners aboard. That'll do it on this broadcast from Larks Network. This has been Carson Ackerman on the call. Larks win 16-9, sweep the Cougars on 3 games. We'll see you at Tuesday at 7 o'clock from Larks Park on Larks Network for Game 1 of a 2-game series against the Boulder Collegians. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great night.